Hi guys, it's Uga and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing my review for Mercurial by Naomi Hughes. This is a new release that was released on Tuesday if I'm not mistaken, and it's a new YA fantasy and it's a self-published book, so if you like it, it will be very good to the author to support him. But before I give you my full opinion, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment this video if you like my content, so I can grow and bring you more bookish content, and I will be very happy for it. Mercurial is, as I said, a YA fantasy about this boy named Tall. I think he's 18, 19 more or less. He's in his late teens, young adult. He has a power and he can see the future. By seeing the future, he receives a vision from the Unforged God, which is the main god of that land, that he can change the future and save the empire by saving the Destroyer. The Destroyer is basically the weapon that the Empress uses, and is also the Empress's sister that possesses the power for conjuring fire. By receiving this vision, Tal decides to oath himself to the Destroyer, so they are bound. He is bound to protect her no matter what. And 2 years later of this event, the Destroyer is attacked on another assassination attempt by the rebels, the named Saints. And Tal discovers that the assassin was his sister, Nyx. Nyx is captured by the Destroyer, and the Destroyer is a very intuitive person, and she sees that Nyx and Tal has some sort of connection, and she starts to torture Nyx in order to get the information she wants. In this was all part of Nyx's plan, so by touching, there's not much explained. Nyx can poison the Destroyer and there's a big explosion, and there's a lot of that. The Destroyer lost her memory, lost her powers, and Tal sees this as an opportunity to save the kingdom by saving the Destroyer. Nyx, who also survives, tries to catch the Destroyer and kill her. The story itself, it's very entertaining. It's a very fast-paced YA story. It's very well written. I really enjoy the characters. There is no good character in this book. They are all morally gray, and they are not usually good people. They fight for what they believe, even if what they believe costs the life of thousands or go against everything the others believe. The only, you can say, good person is Tal. Even Tal is very much binded by his own beliefs with God that makes him, and his own feelings towards the people he loves, that cause him to take some not so great decisions. The plot, it's not so linear in terms of, it has some plot twists that I really enjoyed. I was not expecting that because I thought, well, a straightforward premise and a straightforward story. I didn't expect to have so good plot twists, and how the plot twists were presented. I didn't saw them coming. One of them also because we don't have so much information on it, but the others I was like, oh, okay, that explains a lot. Oh, this is really cool, and I really enjoy. I think it brings up the story. It gives you the author planted the seeds, but also didn't give you the full insight. That also was brilliantly done, because I reached the points and I was like, oh, this is nice. I really enjoyed it. In terms of characters, the three main characters is, as I said, Tal, the Destroyer, which is her real name is Elodie, and Nyx. There's some side characters who are also important. The Empress Sarai, the Nyx's girlfriend Elenia, I think it's her name. But the trio, it's our main focus, and it's our POVs. Each chapter follows one determined character, not in the point of view inside their minds, is a third-person narrator, but it's more insight on what they are feeling and what they are experiencing and what they are seeing, which is very interesting because Nyx is always behind Tal, and they are trying always to reach further. Nyx, it's what we would call a full pragmatic and vengeful person. She doesn't believe in God itself, but she was raised by her mother that follows the text and the scriptures on the lines that she wants to use. And that's one of the recurring themes is religion. Tall fights a lot with his own beliefs, with what the unforged God told him, that he promised this, and then we understand that it wasn't a promise, it was more like, it doesn't say that the path wasn't to be rocky, or the path was going to be easy to that achievement, but it's going to happen, that achievement, but it will cost you more than you thought. But I never said it didn't cost. While Nyx, due to her growth, believes that there should be eventuals because God is that. And that's the counterpart for Elenia, her girlfriend, that studied the same texts and found the other side of God, the forgiven one, the merciful one, that the violence doesn't work and violence doesn't solve everything. And there's a comparison a lot with these two sections that are opposites are just 1 page or 2 pages from each other, so it's very doable, and people took what they want from the scripture that they interpreted, and they talk about also about they don't see the scriptures in light of the new era and of the new mindset, and they follow what it's been written by someone that we don't know who he was, but 1,000 years ago. I think it was a very good social criticism about religion, that some people follow the religious scriptures on letter, but only what they want and not all of them, and they just see the sides that they want to see. I think that was really well done and was really interesting. The Elodie character is the most peculiar one for me, because I cannot say much without spoiler, but it's a trouble character that I think none of the characters is much likable. You won't find you were rooting for anyone, maybe for Tall, because it's more the good guy, but the others are not totally relatable, are not totally lovely ones. You will not root for them. The magic system is very interesting and very cohesive. So we have the unforged God, who it's in the beginning, I think he splits himself or something, and he creates by creating the humans, he creates what he called the smiths, and the smiths are basically persons who have some abilities, and that abilities come from the metal that they have in their bloods. So they have blood metals, and each metal has one different ability. In the story we see what iron metal do, which was the Empress has, that controls the air like an airbender. The Destroyer has mercury in her veins, which means they can create fire like Zuko. Tall, which is one of the main lines of his story, he has silver blood, which is forbidden, because it gives him the power to the inside and high side, which means that he can predict the future. He can have visions from God predicting the future, which was made illegal. We also have the copper blood, which is connected to healing properties. People with copper blood can create venoms and antidotes and even channel the magic to heal. That was very interesting. There is one more that I remember seeing, which was gold, and gold has the power to make the enemy sleep. It's not very explored, it just happens in a part of the book, but I remember that one. But Magicism is very cohesive, it's very explained what it is. I think the boundaries are very well structured of what it is. And during the story we'll understand a little bit more of the magic system, especially due to some events that happened that are important not only for the characters but also for the magic itself, how there are some ranks even inside the same category. For example, a coppersmith, not always a coppersmith has the same ability or the same power to create the same products. So there are more powerful coppersmiths than others, which means they have more capacity, more ability or not to heal. That was really interesting, and I think it gives another dynamic of how the system would work. not just okay, we are all the same. There are different levels. The only point that I didn't enjoy as much is that we see Nyx and Eleni relationship, and it works very well. They compensate one another. We see why they're in love and everything else. The main couple, or the second main couple if you want, the destroyer and all that is implicit they will become a relationship, brings some problems to me because I didn't feel it was real what they've been through. For 2 years, Toll and Elodie have been together. He was his bodyguard. The insights that we have from their backstory, it wasn't very nice for him. She wasn't lovely. She was very mean. She didn't care. He also grew up very resentment for doing that oath and from trying to help the Empire and not achieving. And then in a couple of days they'll totally fall in love. They believe they are in love for years. It was weird. It felt like, very much like an insta love thing, which I'm not particularly enjoy because it doesn't feel real, you know. It doesn't feel real. It does feel very much just to justify some actions that are gonna happen, some decisions. But besides that, it doesn't have nothing. It wasn't enjoyable because it wasn't a build-up. They start to understand they maybe fall in love. They may be feeling some sort of connection, but I don't know, it was weird how it happened, and I think if they grow to enjoy themselves in the company and try to figure like it was more a friendship, I think will be more through. It will be an honest truth because in 2 days they will change so much, even though she lost her memory and then she started to regain. It was weird to see how that happened, and it's basically the one big down point that I didn't enjoy about the book was that it's the love connection that we have. Overall, the book is very enjoyable. It's interesting. The characters are very well written. There are some social criticism that I really enjoy that I already said. The insta love is a thing that I didn't enjoy so much, but some people can enjoy it. But I think the author did an amazing job. The book is very good, and I hope can bring more stories because this world was really fascinating, and maybe an aftermath of what happened in the end will be very good for that. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my review for Mercurial. Tell me in the comments what are your thoughts on instant love relationship, if you like it, if you're not, if there are ways that it can be done, if there are ways that it cannot be done. I'll love to discuss with you in the comments. I'll post videos every Tuesday, Thursdays and Saturdays, so I see you guys in my next video. Bye.